They recognize there's something wrong. I look at it again. The affliction, as she calls it, the whatever in your mind, if your attraction to the same sex is allowed, it's not an affliction. Why is the attraction to a minor an affliction? Why is it not the same thing? And again, not justifying that being homosexual is okay, so dating little kids as an adult is okay. No, little kids are innocent. They do not know any better. They have not lived a life. They do not understand how life works, which is why they cannot make decisions for sex change, which is why they're trying to make this okay. If you can make a decision as an 8-year-old to change your sex, you can make your decision as an 8-year-old to be with an adult. That's what this is about. Sorry to keep saying it, but I'm probably going to say it a few more times. But this here, how I look at it, it's the same thing. It's your attraction to another human being. Same sex, minor. Why is one becoming okay with society and one not? And why are they making the one that is not, the little kids, why are they trying to make that okay? In my eyes, hopefully in your eyes, it will never be okay. I saw something the other day where it was a clip on YouTube where the LGBTQ community, somebody wanted to add the plus to include pedophiles. And LGBTQ was like, hell no, we're not doing this. That's not okay. Now, again, that's just a news report that I saw or a clip I saw on YouTube. Who knows how accurate that is? And I'll say it 100 times, kids are innocent. They do not know any better. This will never be okay.
Also, MAPS are reluctant to seek treatment due to expectations that they will be treated judgmentally and disrespectfully considering societal stigma, as well as fears of unethical breaches of confidentiality and apprehension that counsellors and therapists do not have enough knowledge about minor attraction. Therefore, most MAPS do not receive treatment until many years after they've considered it, and only a minority of these individuals are satisfied with the services that they receive. So now let's go into the therapeutic needs and goals which might increase the effectiveness of current interventions. So it's important to consider the difference between the specific individual goals of the individual compared to the goals that the clinician believes is important, and how the discrepancy in that might affect the therapeutic alliance and relationship, and therefore decrease the effectiveness of therapy. So MAPS report encountering that clinicians who assume that the dominant goal of therapy should be to control or change sexual feelings. However, MAPS themselves have identified a range of other psychological needs that they deemed as more important when seeking psychological counselling. These goals include a desire to increase self-esteem, decrease isolation, and deal with the social cultural stigma of minor attraction. This also includes understanding their sexuality and increasing the ability to create genuine and authentic relationships.
So again, we're talking about the non-offenders, we'll call them, like she says, the ones who haven't given to their urges. They want to live a normal life. They want to be treated as such. They want to seek help to not feel so bad. Listen, I'm okay with all that. The serial killer who never kills anybody is a regular person. The pedophile who never acts on it is a regular person. So it sounds like they want the help to control, to make them feel like they're worth something, not hate themselves for what they feel, want to be in society with no issues. I mean, again, as a human being who hasn't done anything, who hasn't crossed the line, we should want that for everybody. But what do you do? You know, if you could keep it in control, are you a pedophile? I would say no. You can be attracted to little kids. Okay, that's a problem for me, but it's how you're wired. And you're trying to seek help. Those who are the clinicians, help. These people clearly recognize there's something wrong. They don't want to live a life like this. Hopefully, you can provide the help. Hopefully, this is an affliction that can be altered and they can lose that attraction to children. Personally, I don't think so. I hope so. because children are innocent. They don't know any better.
This would therefore lead to reduced depression and increased contentment in their quality of life. Some clinicians also made assumptions that the client had already or would inevitably engage in victimization. Although some MAPs did identify sexual frustration as a goal of therapy, along with a desire to reduce child attraction and increase adult attraction. Therefore, this would lead to a dual focus on child sexual abuse prevention, as well as increasing client well-being. Preventing abusive behavior is in the best interest of the MAPS clients, since most wish to both avoid harming children as well as reduce suffering legal consequences. Therefore, some theoretical and clinical components from CBT.
I mean, your number one and only should be not abusing little kids. Avoiding prosecution, avoiding criminal charges shouldn't even be on your radar. That means you want to do it and get away with it. That's what that means. That's what I heard. Responsible for what you say, not for what you hear. But that's what I heard. I'm worried about implications law-wise. Well, then the only way that happens is if you act on it. So your main and only concern should be not abusing a child.
Could be applied. This would aim to avoid clinicians' judgment or invalidating responses to sexual orientation, as well as gender identity. Affirmative CBT helps clients reframe one's view of themselves as disordered and pathological, and goes towards a more accepting self-narrative to cope with the complex range of internal feelings and external messages that are both stigmatizing and demoralizing. Therefore, in working with MAPS, this clearly condemns abuse of children while also attempting to congruently realign thoughts and feelings of self-acceptance.
I mean, it's weird to hear as someone who doesn't have an issue like that, self-acceptance. Having to accept that you are attracted to children. You know, how do you do that? Like, if I like brunettes, I'm attracted to brunettes. I only want brunettes, but I'll go, I'll date a blonde chick. Is that the same thing? Like, I'm attracted to little kids, only want little kids, but I'll go get with an adult. It seems like you should change your type if it's a possibility. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That's I don't know.
Realign thoughts and feelings towards self-acceptance. So now let's go on to specific examples of how these strategies might take place. Firstly, accepting and confirming the client's dignity and worth. The clinician's acceptance of the client does not imply endorsement of illegal or abusive contact. Secondly, using neutral language that reflects the client's preferred terminology. For example, referring to themselves as minor attracted or asking what term is more comfortable to be used. Also asking clients.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but if your goal is to help somebody and the first step is identifying how they want to be addressed, I guess you would have to do it. You would have to identify someone as a pedophile. They don't want to be deemed that because of the stigma of being attracted to little children. They'd prefer the name minor attracted person. It's the same thing, but if your goal is to help, you would have to do that, right? Again, all this on someone who has not acted on the urge, someone who recognizes they have a problem. Like the athlete that does steroids or cheats on his wife. Don't come apologizing after you get caught. Screw you. Admit to it beforehand. Say, listen, I thought about doing this. I screwed up. That's what these people are doing. I have this urge. I don't want this urge. I need your help. Help them.